Hello, my name is Mitchell Smith, and I'm part of the Virtual Games Division group for the level design class, and I'm going to be showing you my prototype for the level. I'm going to start off with the starting line and finish line prototypes. And so I get in the vehicle, and when I pass the starting line, it is going to start the timer. And this would normally be at the start of the actual vehicle obstacle course. And after winding through the obstacle course, the players will arrive at this finish line, which stops it, sets the finish time, and it also records that value in a variable and sets it to a wall, in which to text on a wall. But this will actually show up on the screen at the end of the level, along with the other two timers. And to show off these timers, I am going to select a weapon. This is the timer that would be for the pop-up target section. So I press E to interact, you hit the button, and then you shoot the target, and it would stop it. In the actual level itself, it will be when to shoot all the targets, but this is to show shooting a target causing the timer to stop, and it gets recorded. And the final kind of timer we use is connected to the enemy. And so the actual one in level, the actual way to start the timer in the level will be to press another button in the same way that this one worked. But for the instances of this prototype, I'm just using this collision protection that causes the timer. And now we get something with a little more firepower to take care of this enemy. If I take out the enemy, it stops the timer. And this, once again, similar to the targets in the hotel scenario, the player will have to actually defeat all of the enemies in all the rooms in order for the timer to go off. But for this instance, it is the ability for the timer to stop with the enemy. And once again, all the times will show up at the end on the screen. And now I am going to head over to show you the different vehicle layout prototypes for the obstacle course. Okay, I am now in my level for vehicle testing. So this right here is the mock-up starting area. That would be the screen that players will see kind of all the directions to start off with. These are all the placements for the vehicles. This can be the gate. That's just for kind of background design. This is going to be the starting line. And these are a bunch of different versions of me testing layouts and such. This is kind of my first implementation, which it's just static cubes, kind of feeling out how I wanted to set up the course and testing out the height of the jump. I have a whole bunch of different jump heights and lengths for the ramps, and then some more kind of layouts for the blocks. After this, I experimented on some more uniform jumps for this one. And I tried out these thinner bears so they weren't all just cubes, and utilized some that are next to each other, a little thicker, a little thinner, the variety there. And then, which I will show you, my final version was this one here. I will keep that off for you, so your ears won't be bursting from the sound of the engine. But this is actually the one I really worked with the most, because it is almost like an exact replica of what is on the layout. So you start off with these ramps, which they all are around the same size. Gotta try not to flip over. So it's pretty much, I was just testing the heights again, but it's more similar to what I was wanting. So pretty much whenever I would look at my layout and wonder how it would actually feel to move through that section, I would make the section here. So you'd be moving through, I experimented with these thicker sections, and then replaced all the thinner ones with these walls. Or, have these thinner walls here so you can maneuver around more. Made sure there was around 1,000 Unreal units in between everything, and then 1,500 across, just so there's enough room for players to move through. And I practiced with more variety in kind of the course layouts. You can this path is actually entirely a straight. I only did this to test out the obstacles. I did not implement the actual turns that are going to be in the final one. But I still kept in mind the dimensions that I practiced with this section. So the player will be moving through here, and I think it's around this point where it's the turning section. We're actually going to have turns in between a lot of these. So these kind of breaks in between are not absolute. They're kind of to simulate the breaks. I apologize, I'm not the best at this. The recording software has caused a lag. Blame it on the lag. I tried giving it some challenge without making it pretty generous, since this is a kind of a mock-up tutorial level. Or in this case, it's a tutorial level for like a tutorial level. So you would now be going through this section, in which there'd be the jump, and this kind of tighter walls you have to move around. And this is going to be, I think it's the last jump section, and then there is the bridge section, in which there's a top there. Oh. Yeah, that's the difficult part about the bridge, is that you got to be careful doing the bridge, because, well, look at that. You got stuck. Yep, that's stuck. We'll be back after these messages. Now we are at the bridge section, in which you can either go over the bridge, which is a little more difficult because you have to stay on the straight path or you'll fall off, or you can kind of do the safer, but it takes up a lot more time, direction of underneath the bridge. So if you fall off the bridge, you can also kind of complete that under part. And this is where the kind of the winding path with no obstacles would be. But since there are no obstacles, and this prototype is primarily to figure out the placement of the obstacles, I did not include it. So now I'm going to show you the difficult. Yeah. It's the difficulty of the ramp. Of course, you're not supposed to go this way, but I wanted to show you. So yeah. If you want to be speed demon, it's a little tricky, but you can make it all the way across if you're careful. So it's a matter of kind of preference, if you'd rather risk trying to go up here, or if you would prefer to kind of go under there, because you might flip your buggy over. But thankfully, if you press E, you can, of course, get back to it. And keep going. And of course, there are some kinks with the designs, but iteration is key, and I'm not just going to stop here. I'm going to keep improving. So thank you so much for watching, and have a nice day.